Picture this. You're driving home on a familiar, lonely road. You know all the turns, you know where the bumps are, and you feel perfectly safe, right? It's a drive you've literally done 100 times before. The heater's blasting, the radio's playing in the background, and you are just so ready to get inside and finally relax. But what if you never actually made it to your driveway? So let's dive right into today's explainer because we're looking at a mystery that absolutely defies logic. The big question we're tackling is this: how does someone vanish without a single trace in under 10 minutes? How quickly can a perfectly normal, stable life just completely disappear? As you're gonna see, the window of time for everything to go wrong here is terrifyingly small, and the few clues left behind really only make things more confusing. Section 1, an ordinary evening. To really wrap our heads around how crazy this case is, we first have to look at how completely normal the night started out. Meet Sarah Mitchell. She's 28 years old, working at a hospital in Ohio. Now that tells us she was used to long, demanding shifts and had a very steady, reliable routine. By all accounts, Sarah was super responsible, friendly, and just loved by everyone around her. So, it's a cold November evening, she just wrapped up her shift, and she's doing what millions of us do every single day. She's just commuting home. At 8:47 p.m., she calls her mom. And the conversation? It's literally just, "I'm tired, I'll be home soon." We've all made that exact call, haven't we? It's just entirely routine. There's no panic in her voice, no hesitation, no hint at all that she felt unsafe or like she was being followed. Just a daughter checking in with her mom, totally oblivious to the fact that this would be their very last conversation. Moving on to section 2, the unknown caller. Okay, this is where things get really intense. So let's look at the timeline. It is an incredibly tight window. Her hospital shift ends. At 8:47 p.m., we have that completely normal call to her mom. But then, exactly 10 minutes later, at 8:57 p.m., her phone gets a call from an unknown number. Just 10 minutes. That's what, the length of a quick coffee break? And in that tiny, tiny window, the completely normal trajectory of her night shifts into something really dark. Now, I really want you to think about this next number, 1 minute and 42 seconds. That is exactly how long this unidentified call lasted. I want us to just pause and let that sink in for a second. Think about that in the context of a phone call. That's not a pocket dial. It's not a quick, whoops, wrong number and a hang up. 102 seconds is a real, actual conversation. Information was exchanged. But investigators never figured out who made that call, and they definitely don't know what was said. It's this massive, glaring black hole sitting right in the middle of our timeline.
And here's where it gets really chilling. Literally, right after that 8:57 p.m. call ends, something super strange happens. The digital footprint we all leave behind when we drive, it just stops. Sarah's phone completely ceases moving. The final signal, the last digital heartbeat of her phone, pings from this incredibly lonely, desolate road surrounded by dense woods. It's a place far, far away from the safety of her hospital or her home.
Section 3, the missing trail. So the next morning, Sarah obviously never arrives home, and the police immediately jump into action. A few hours later, they actually find her car parked on the shoulder of that remote road. But look at this list of facts. The keys, still inside the ignition. Her purse, sitting right there, totally untouched. There is absolutely no sign of a struggle and zero evidence of a car crash. It makes no sense. I mean, if it was a robbery, the purse is gone, right? If it was a crash, you'd see physical damage. Instead, the scene points to this terrifying void. It's like Sarah just evaporated, leaving all her stuff perfectly intact. The search teams meticulously comb through the surrounding forest, trying to figure this out. They bring in tracking dogs, and the dogs actually get a hit. They pick up her scent and track it for almost a full mile, straight into the dense forest. And then, the trail just vanishes. Boom, gone. There are no footprints in the dirt, no dropped belongings, nothing. A mile-long trek into the woods that just ends in absolute zero. Section 4, the unsolved mystery. When we look at this investigation, it's like a giant puzzle with one piece that just doesn't fit. Investigators dig into Sarah's background, and everything is completely normal. They talk to friends, family, coworkers. Nobody can think of a single person who would want to hurt her. Her bank accounts, her personal life, totally ordinary. But glaring through all of this normalcy is that one impossible anomaly on the right, the 8:57 p.m. phone call. It is literally the only weird detail in an otherwise completely transparent life. So without any physical evidence to go on, what do we have? We have theories. Let's look at what the source material lays out. The first theory is that Sarah pulled over to meet someone on that road, maybe someone she knew, or maybe she was trying to help a stranger. The second theory is that a targeted abduction happened the second she stepped out of her car. And the third, and this is the one a lot of investigators still lean toward today, is that the mysterious caller is the key to the whole shebang. But the really frustrating, tragic reality, not a single one of these theories could ever be proven. And you know how these cases go. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years. The passage of time hasn't brought any clarity to her family. The person on the other end of that 1 minute and 42-second call, never identified. Not a single witness ever came forward to say they saw a car or a struggle out on that road. And most devastatingly of all, no trace of Sarah Mitchell was ever found. One normal drive home, one weird call, and she's just gone. Which brings us to the ultimate question we have to ask ourselves. What really happened to Sarah Mitchell out on that dark, lonely road? How does a person literally vanish into a forest in the span of 10 short minutes? The answer has to be out there somewhere, just waiting to be uncovered. So keep this timeline in mind and keep asking questions.